Today marks day 6 of my Christmas nail series, and I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently today. I'm going to let my husband draw my nail set, and we're going to bring his drawing to life on camera today. He drew this masterpiece of a drawing, and when I tell you guys, he was serious about this thing. He was not playing because he had inspo in everything. We are basically just going to turn his drawing into a real nail set. Let's see how this turns out. So first, we can't do these nails without a nail tip. We got to add a little length to it. So he had the extra long stilettos going on in the picture. So that's exactly what we're going to put on our nails today. But first, I'm going to put on 2 coats of this peel off base coat because I want to save this set later. So I want to be able to pop them right on off. So we're going to put 2 coats of this and we're going to cure in between coats. I cure for about 30 seconds. So now here are the extra long stiletto tips, and I'm going to go ahead and apply them using some gel glue. Now I want to say this, you guys have been loving the Glaze by C extra long stiletto tips, not just the tips, but the actual full kit. Now I will say, if you are looking to start with soft gel and you don't know where to start, my kit has everything that you need to do soft gel nails all in one place, all in one kit. So definitely check it out at glazebyc.com. I'll have the link in the description down below. It is also the perfect Christmas gift to give any nail enthusiast. So yeah, check it out. I'm gonna go ahead and flash cure under this flash curing lamp for about 60 seconds. And then we have our nail on. And then once I have all of the nails on, I love to go ahead and cure under a bigger lamp for 60 seconds to make sure it's cured through and through. Okay, now the tips are on, we can get into this drawing. So I just want to break down his picture for you guys so you know exactly what we're working with and what he wanted, like his ideas. So first, the first 2 fingers, which is the red one and the white finger, those are basically little Debbie cakes or cookies. He saw a cup on one of his coworkers' desks. So he took a picture of that and basically based the whole drawing on that cup. So the little Debbie cakes that you see on the cup, that is what he is recreating on the finger, which I love, love that for him. And then the first finger on the far left, he has red drizzle. So we have some red drips going on at the top, and then we have a red peppermint, and then he has cherry insert on there. And I know exactly what he means. It's not a cherry, it's holly. I got you, babe. I know exactly what you mean. And this design is basically what was on the cup. So if you look at the cup, you see the drips, you see the holly. I see the vision, and we're gonna just put it all together. I really wanted to start with the little Debbie cookie nail design because, listen, I'm hungry. So I think this is a great one to start with. So we're gonna do a white base. So I'm gonna take some white gel polish and go ahead and put 1 coat of that down on the nail. And honestly, 1 coat did it. So I'm just gonna do 1 coat and go ahead and cure it for about 30 seconds. This white gel is from V Beauty Pure, by the way. So I'm already starting to mess up a little bit. I'm messing up with the colors. So on the picture, he has one that has a white base and then one that has a red base. And clearly I'm doing both the pointer and the ring finger in a white base. But I'm gonna get into that a little later. But this is how I want the little Debbie nails to look basically. I really love the way that the little stripes has a 3D effect to it because y'all know this is basically icing on the little Debbie cake. So icing is a little thicker. So to give it that 3D effect and make it look a little thicker, I'm going to mix some gel glue in with the red that I want to use. And the red is basically just a regular gel polish, but the gel glue is what's going to give it that thickness. I'm just gonna twirl that fine liner brush around in the gel to pick a whole lot up. And even though I have a whole lot of product on my brush, I'm still gonna start off with a thin line first just to get the shape and movement of the line looking exactly how I want to look, and then I'm going to go back in and make it thicker in the areas I want it to be thick in. And I really want this to be dramatic. I want a dramatic look. I actually looked up like a couple pictures of some Little Debbie cakes, and this one really spoke to me, and I really loved the way the lines had a lot of movement in them. And so I didn't want like a weak little squiggly line. But I really love the way this turned out. I think the way the lines are really made this design what it is. But once I get one line the way I want it to look, nice and perfect, I'm gonna go ahead and cure it to lock it in. And I cured it for about 60 seconds. And all the other lines that I make are gonna follow the same direction as this first line that I made. And the lines aren't even close to how thick I want them to look. So I'm actually gonna have to go back in and do a second coat over each line. And I mean, this was very tedious. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It took a lot longer than I thought that this was gonna take me, because I had to go back over each line and do another coat just to get that thickness that I wanted. But it was very much worth it because the end result looks amazing. Good enough to take a little bite, like I always say. So I am not mad at how much time I took to do these nails. Well, this particular design. So this is how it looks before I did the second coat. And as you can see, it looks flat as a little pancake. We need a little bit more going on. So like I said, going in with another coat is very much worth it at this point because it's going to give me the look that I'm going for. So I actually have so much product on my brush right now, but this is what's going to give me the thickness that I want without having to go in a third time with the third coat. So I definitely stayed under the UV lamp to cure for a good 60 seconds to make sure everything was cured. And 60 seconds seemed like it was enough because everything cured the way it was supposed to. Okay, so we got the pointer and the ring finger done, but obviously I did the wrong colors. I did the same exact colors when I was supposed to do one finger with red as a base and white for the little icing stripes. So at this point, I noticed what I did, and I noticed I was supposed to do a different color, but I did not look at the drawing to see which color I was supposed to do. Instead, I just assumed, tried to grab a color out of my memory. I think it was green. But it was not green. It was red and white. So it was the same colors, but just swapped. And yeah, I just ended up doing a whole different thing, and it still looks good, yes, but it's just dead wrong. I was supposed to do something else. But honestly, guys, at this point, I'm keeping it, and we're just gonna deal with the consequences because it took too long to do this over again the first time. So we're not gonna do it over again a second time. But as you can see, I added the sprinkles, and I'm just gonna add a matte top coat on top very lightly. I was so scared to do this because I didn't want to put too much matte on there to the point where it'll lose that 3D effect. But then again, I didn't want to put too little because y'all know with matte, you have the smudging problem, and we smudged a little bit, but not too much. So I'll take what we have here, and it looks pretty good. But here's how it looks with the matte top coat all cured, and this looks delicious. But 2 fingers down, we got the pointer and the ring finger done, and now we just have 3 more fingers to go. So we're going to put the design with the drips on the middle finger, and I am using this red gel polish from V Beauty Pure as the base. Now, I know that he had the drips red and then the base color white, but I wanted to swap the two just because he has holly on top of the red drips. And I just think the holly would pop off better on top of a white gel polish instead of red polish. So I just swapped the colors. I did that on purpose this time. This was not a mistake, but it's just so we can be able to see the holly a little bit better. And I know he wouldn't mind, so I wasn't afraid to do this. Even though I saw people in the comments that were saying, you need to do it exactly how he drew it. And I understand, but I know my man, okay? The man don't care. He just want to see his design brought to life, and that is exactly what we're doing. I ended up having to put 2 coats of the white gel polish just because the red started to bleed into the white as I was trying to paint it on. So I put 2 coats down, and now I am going in and doing the peppermint. Now, I kept looking back at his inspiration, which is the cup. And I see in the cup that the drips kind of look like they have like a bubbly look to it. And so to kind of have that in the nail set a little bit, I want to give the drips and the peppermint more of a 3D look. So I'm going to go in and take some gel glue and put on top of it, but we're going to get into that a little later after I go ahead and paint the peppermint and the holly on top of the white drips. So for the holly, I'm going to take a dotting tool and just make 3 dots with the dotting tool, and then I'm going to take a liner brush and go in with some green. This is a green gel pod from Kiara Sky, and make the leaves. I kind of like to make the skeleton of the shape first and then go back in and fill out each line to make it look more like a leaf. And I see that's how a lot of different creators and nail artists do their nail art. They make the skeleton of the shape first and then fill it out so it can look exactly the way they want it to look. And for me, this method works with most shapes. So if you're struggling with nail art and you want to kind of get a little bit better at it, just think of whatever you're trying to draw as a stick figure first, or just break it up into shapes and then, you know, put it together. But that's a whole different video for another day. So after we go ahead and cure the holly, I'm going to go back in with some gel glue, like I said, to make it look 3D. So to give it that 3D look. And this is what I'm using. Basically, it's from BT Art Box. It's a BT Art Box gel glue, and it just has a thicker consistency. So it gives it that bubbly look. So after I put 1 little drop of the gel glue down, I'm just taking my small detail liner brush just to fill it out so it can come all the way to the edge of the peppermint design. And then I like to let it sit for a little while so it can self-level, especially flipping the nail over upside down and just letting it sit like that for a little while and then put it under to cure. That makes the world of a difference. I did that off camera for the peppermint, and now I'm going in and putting some gel glue onto the drips. I did not want to overdo it with the drips, so I kind of just put the gel glue onto my brush first and then put it on the drips because I wanted to make sure I control the area, especially the area around the holly. So I went around the holly with the gel glue, and now I'm flipping my nail upside down like I said before so it can self-level upside down like that. And then I let that cure for 60 seconds. And now once everything is cured, now we can go ahead and put a top coat on. So I just put a top coat on everything, but in my head, still looking at it, I still felt like something was missing, but I could have just left it alone because what I added didn't really make too much of a difference, but I'm still going to show you guys what I did. So I just put some lines, some little detailed lines on the drips, just to make it look kind of cartoony. Here's just a better view because y'all could not see at that angle that I had before. But I'm just gonna dump some acrylic on top of this, and like I said, it didn't really make too much of a difference, so I could have did without it, but I still wanted to show you guys what I did. Now for the pinky and the thumb, he wanted glitter, so I found this perfect red glitter to use, and it didn't look good by itself. So we're gonna put a red base down first, the same red that I use on the other fingers, and 1 coat did it. So that's all we needed was 1 coat. We can go ahead and cure that and go ahead and put that glitter on top. And listen, this glitter is tea, okay? But I could not for the life of me find a glitter that was like this red glitter in green, because we're going to put green on the pinky finger. Now, this red glitter is from VBD Pure, and for some reason, they do not have a green glitter in their gel collection, and I bought the whole collection. So I should have some type of green glitter. And they had a green, but it just wasn't that like forest green, like that darker green. So this is the glitter that I found for the green. And it is from Bellavina Dallas. And it's a pretty old gel polish. This is actually the very first brand that I worked with as a content creator, like when I first started back in 2020. So yeah, this is definitely an old bottle, but it's still working out for us. I actually love the way these turned out more than I thought I was going to, especially the Little Debbie cake nails. Like those are sickening. Like they look good enough. And I always say this, but these actually do look good enough to take a little bite. Like, you have to be honest with yourself. You want to bite this nail. I know you do. You guys, let me know how did we do on this little collaboration we have here. Rate it down in the comment section down below. And really quickly, I really want to show you guys his reaction to the nails.
Well, you tough, good.
You like it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like them. With the green and the red and green in the middle. Come on, bro.
That's all you.
Oh, that's tough.
You tough. Obviously he loved it, and he didn't even notice that I messed up a little bit on the colors. Mission accomplished. I already posted this on Instagram and TikTok, and listen, everybody is loving his little creation. Some people even want him to do it again. So I think the next time I do it, I'm gonna bring him on camera, and we're just gonna put together, like brainstorm together on what the nail set is gonna look like. So if you wanna see that, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I post next Saturday, because that's probably when we're going to do it. And if you watched this far, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out Glaze by C. The link will be in the description down below. And I will see you guys in my very next video next week.